Okay. Okay, praise God, from whom all blessings flow, and I want to apologize to people who maybe think that I offend them. I don't intend to offend you, but sometimes the truth offends people. Even though at the end of the days, the truth is going to win out, because God said he hates liars and those that love a lie. Okay? He hates liars and those that love a lie. You know, because you got some people that they love a lie, because the lie sounds better than the truth. You know, it's wild, but it's against God. It doesn't make a difference who you say you are, but it's against God. It's against God, man. And at the end of the day, it's, it's going to be a reward or a punishment. It's simple as that. You remember when the rich man had the barns? This what going on today, it seems like. The rich man had the barns, and it was stocked full of goods. Stocked full of goods, man, you know. And his barns was overflowing. And he sit back in his chair, I guess, with one of them big fancy cigars. Probably one of them, they got cigars that cost a lot of money, I think. Even when I was smoking, man, I couldn't be dealing with no cigar. But they probably sit back and lean in their chairs, their executive type chairs, and their alumni in their alumni situations with the alumni. And I guess they say, oh, we got to tear the barns down, tear them down, because we're going to build the barns, and we're going to put more goods. We got to tear these barns down, because they're too small to hold our goods. And God came to that man that night and said, "Thou fool, thy soul is required right now." I don't think he said it right then like that, but right now, for my people who know where I'm coming from, they understand, because we used to talk that way. Right now, your soul is required. And that's what's going to happen. That's what's happening. You're stocking things up in the bonds. You're stocking up your power in the bonds. You're stacking up power in the bonds to be against the poor people and the minority people, which you call the minority people, but actually when you start counting on the world, they outnumber you maybe 4-1, 5-1. I know they outnumber you. It's more minority people on the face of this earth than it is what you would call majority people. And I remember when he's gone now, because I wrote him a letter, sending me a letter talking about joining the moral majority. I told him I was born in the moral majority. Don't send me no letter. I guess you say, what's this guy talking about? But I was born in the moral majority, because I know who the majority is. And They don't have to project themselves to be the majority because they are the majority. God's people are in the majority. I'm serious. When you come right down to it, God's folks are going to be in the majority. And whoever God says is his people, I welcome them. Because he said, I have sheep of many folds. I got sheep of many folds. This is going to be a 1, 2, or 3 parts thing. But I'm going to try to get it straight because I did the thing in church and I couldn't do it the way I'm going to do it now. Because I guess maybe a sermon like this maybe is 2 years away. 2 years away, a year away, whatever. But it's not right now sermon. It's not a right now sermon because people don't want to hear that because it messes up their flow. But see, I can't worry about your flow because I'm thinking about my soul when God is through with me. When he comes to me and says, thou, your soul is required. I want to be ready to say, okay, Lord, it's on. Come on, get me. Come get me. But anyway, I'm going to pray. Lord, I pray for this generation of your people. I pray for Jacob's remnant because you told me to pray for Jacob's remnant. Whoever Jacob's remnant is, I pray for because that's who Jacob's remnant is. And Lord, I pray for those strangers that are within Jacob's remnant's gates that are friends of them. And I pray for the enemies that are among them, Lord, for them, that they don't be able to overcome Jacob's remnant. I know you told me a while back to teach your people. And I said, Lord, well, who is your people? And then it goes back to when I was a little tot. And I would ask you questions, and I guess I would worry you to death and say, you got to be careful what you ask God for. And you gave it to me. Because actually, all I wanted to know what the truth was. Because I kind of got mixed up in my youth because of going back and forth. My people in the South were one way and the people in the North were another way. And then I'd run into a Bible that nobody explained to me in the North. And I had read it in the South and said, when I mentioned it, the people would tell me, be quiet. Don't talk. You don't know what you're talking about. Ain't no more books in the Bible. What you talking about, boy? I say, hey, man, shoot, these people here, man, they whip you, man, beat that, And then I said, well, is this true? But you put me on a search. You told me to go and look for the books, and I went to the library, New York Library, and you had me to get those 2 big books. I'll never forget, Volume 1, Volume 2, the pseudepigrapha. The pseudepigrapha. I'm going to say it that way because it seemed like it's easy to say it that way. But it's spelled P-S-E-U-D-A, pigrapha, P-I-G-R-A-P-H-A, the pseudepigrapha. And a lot of people, they denounce these books. They denounce them. And they took them out of the body of the books, because actually the book with the 66 books is enough, because it says basically that whosoever will, let him come. Whosoever believeth that Jesus is the Son of God, whosoever believe in Jesus can be saved. But then the game is that some of the people that were teaching the people who were supposed to be primitive, taught them a different way than they should have been taught. They taught them like they were teaching, well, I guess what you would say, animals. And I'm not saying all of them did, because I'm pretty sure there were some Jebusites in the bunch that had the care of the people, because I've seen people that really have a deep love and care for people, you know, within their heart. And that's basically what it is. Because it really don't come down so much to heritage too much more. It really comes down to the content of your heart, your heart, your heart. You see, Jesus knows the heart. God knows the heart. People look at the outside appearance and, you know, man looks at the outward appearance and God looks at your heart. So you can't dismiss anybody, really. But we have come to what you would say, a fork in the road, man, for this era. It's as if we're getting into the last days, really. That's right. We're coming to the last days. If they ain't here so close, they aren't too much around. They're not too much from being around the corner. And where are the prophets? Where are the prophets in the evangelical circles? And where the prophets at? Where are the prophets who's supposed to be telling the people, hey, it's time to get real with God. That's right. It's time to get real with God. And quit being, what you would say, half and half. But anyway, I preached this the other day, and I'm gonna say, I think I'll end this by mentioning the sermon. It was from 2 Chronicles, the 7th chapter and the 14th verse. And no, 2 Chronicles, 7th chapter, the 13th and the 14th verse. Okay? Yeah. 7th chapter. And the 13th and the 14th verse. And this was, actually we started really the 12th. And the Lord appeared to Solomon by night. Okay. Solomon. Yeah, I should have mentioned that. I should have mentioned that 12th verse. Wow. This is very important. And the Lord appeared to Solomon by night and said unto him, I have heard thy prayer. In other words, Solomon was praying for his people. He wasn't praying for the Amorites. He wasn't praying for the Hittites or the Perizzites or the Jebusites or the Amalekites or the Edomites. He was praying for his people. And God heard his prayer. And God spoke. There was times when God spoke. God hears people and he speaks back to them. Now maybe some people is afraid to listen to what God has to say sometimes, but I tell you what, I think I'd much rather, in fact, no, not think. I'd rather hear from God than hear from some of these fools out here talking, okay? I'll just put it that way. Because a fool can lead you astray. God ain't going to tell you nothing to lead you astray. He might give you something to make you get in some trouble with some people who have gone astray, but he ain't going to tell you nothing to lead you astray. And the Lord appeared to Solomon by night and said unto him, I've heard thy prayer and have chosen this place to myself for an house of sacrifice. In other words, God chose this place. He chose it. And Solomon must have been praying hard for his people as if to say, Lord, I need help. You know, I'm young and I need help. And God told him, if I shut up heaven and there be no rain, okay? In other words, if I shut up heaven and there be no rain, or Or listen, if you can turn it around, if I make it rain like it's crazy, which it's doing now, he said, or if I command the locusts to devour the land. In other words, you know, the land can be devoured. Or if I send pestilence among my people, which his people went into a lot of pestilence later on after this, or further down the road from this, he told him, if my people, this is what he did, and I'm pretty sure Solomon told his people, if my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves and pray. They humble. They got to be humble, Solomon. They got to be humble. They have to be humble to me. They got to be humble to me. You ain't got to be unhumble to somebody else, but God said he wants us to be humble to him. We can't be boisterous and proud and bold and sit up and look at like we are. We are what it's all about, because we ain't nothing but dirt. That's all we are. We was made from the dirt, and when we die, we go back to the dust. Simple as that. The dust. Dust has no specific color. It becomes dust. Becomes dust. And if the dust is down there a long time, and when it's mixed with water, again, that dust will turn dark. So I'm gonna leave that in your cotton picking pipe so you can smoke it. Okay? Because that goes back to how God made Adam. He said, if my people which are called by my name shall humble themselves and pray. In other words, we got to pray, man. We got to pray to God. We got to pray to God. Pray to God. Pray to God. Not to no, Lord have mercy. Don't worry about right, wrong, liberal. Don't worry about the government phrases. Because all of that mess, you know what it really is? It's temporal madness. That's what it is. Temporal madness. You want me to spell it for you? TEMPORALMADNESS. Temporal madness. Which fades away. It fades away. Ain't none of this gonna stay. You know? Like God says, only what you do for Christ will last. So in other words, all this stuff he says is going to go away, but not the memory of it, and you done did it to mess up some people. I bet you that ain't going to go away. Because when your rap sheet is presented to you on Judgment Day, God going to bring it to your attention. There's another word, I like to talk. My people might say tension. So I don't care. You know what I mean? So sue me. I don't like your English language anyway. You know, you corrupted my language, which was what, Cherokee or African or something, man. You know, you you took my language away. So I don't care about your cotton picking language. If my people which are called by my name shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face, seek his face. You know, he says, seek my face. Tell them to seek my face, Solomon. And I'm pretty sure, you know, Solomon was seeing himself and saying, seek his face. Well, you're talking to me, God, and I know how I look. So you're talking to me as if, I know they ain't supposed to seek my face, but you telling me to seek your face, too. And well, Solomon probably had to look in the mirror and say, oh, okay, I got you, Lord. And turn from their wicked ways. That's it. Gotta turn from your wicked ways. You can't stay hooked up in no Amorite ways, man. Because these Amorite ways will slay you. They will slay you. They will slay you. Because an Amorite is an Amorite is an Amorite. If they don't get saved, they yet are Amorites. Okay? And that's just the way it is. They got barbaric ways. And said, then will I hear from heaven. Then will I hear from heaven and will forgive their sin. In other words, he'll forgive our sin, man. He'll forgive our sin and will heal our land. Can you believe that? Will heal our land. Now, if these people who were so intent on putting people in office to hurt God's people, yeah, I said it. They're so intent on putting people in office, not to help God's people, but to hurt God's people. If they were so intent in the manner of doing what the God said do, well, he would heal their land. But if y'all gonna turn around and you're gonna do the same thing that the Amorite does, even though you know what I'm talking about, and like I'm saying, I don't care if you get mad because I'm calling you your biblical name. That's what you are. You are an Amorite. That's what you are. You are an Amorite. You understand? You want me to spell it? Amorite. An Amorite. That's what you are. That's what you are, an Amorite. Part 1.